Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it is called the present. Friends and grasshoppers, this is the Formless Podcast, episode number 134. With Tyler, the superhuman, me, Dustin. And for the first time, I think we've ever had a mother and daughter at the same time. This is super special. We got Megan and her daughter, Avorie.
Yes, yeah. Avorie.
Yes. Okay. Megan is both of you ladies are first dans in Tang Soo Do. Yep. They both play music in separate bands.
Yeah.
Megan has opened for, help me if I get this wrong, Hailstorm, Buck Cherry, Floater, and Unwritten Law.
Yes.
And Avorie is soon to be opening up for the mighty Black Flag.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
That is dope. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Did I miss anything? You guys had like a huge list of credits.
Oh,
I think those are the big ones.
Those are the big ones. So I may have seen your band, Megan, in like the late 90s, early 2000s at a Floater concert.
okay. Maybe 2000s. We formed in 2007.
Oh, okay. No, then this was before that because I think I had just turned 21, so that would have been around 2001.
So your band is
Furlough Fridays.
Furlough Fridays. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I was at a Floater concert in Chico, and it was like so packed that I don't even think my feet touched the floor the entire time. I was standing on other people.
Was that back when they had the Brickworks still?
Yes, it was at the Brickworks, and there was like, it was terrifying, but it was also amazing because the band's pretty sweet. They're a good band, but it was like my anxiety was at an all-time high.
It was packed, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude, they just shoveled you in there.
Yeah. So I was at a Slipknot concert, and we had a similar situation where it was so tight, and I'm just like, if a mosh pit breaks out right now, I might die.
Yeah.
This might be how I go.
Yeah. Which, I mean, there's worse ways.
Yeah.
There's worse ways.
That's pretty epic. Grandma died in a Slipknot
That's
mosh
a really
pit.
cool way. I would tell my grandchildren, your grandma went out the best way.
That's so awesome.
Avorie, what is your band called?
My band, so I'm in a band called Adam's Audacity, and my dad is Adam. And so I am the Audacity of his child in the band.
Well, there's more to the story of the band name, but you go ahead.
That's true. It's a band with me, my dad, and my fiance Thomas. I play drums, my dad plays guitar and sings, and my fiance plays bass.
Oh, okay.
And it's really cool. We play a lot of punk rock, a little bit of ska. It's kind of like Blink-182 with some Green Day in there, and then a little bit of Real Big Fish, but we only have a trumpet sometimes. Yeah. It's really sick. It's honestly ideal music playing for me. It's like my favorite kind of music.
It's your jam.
It's my
right
jam.
On. Yeah. Right on.
So we got representatives from Adam's Audacity and Furlough Fridays.
Yeah. She's teaching me how to play drums right now.
That's true, and you're doing pretty good.
Not necessarily.
Very
cool.
cool.
Give it time.
It's a whole family affair.
Yeah.
Now, you also, we talked a little bit. We met you a couple Saturdays back at the Scott Halsey tournament. Mm-hmm. So you guys, how long have you been involved in martial arts?
Oh, gosh.
And is it a whole family affair, or is it just you two ladies?
It was a whole family affair at one point. So when I was a little kid, we wanted to join martial arts. We couldn't afford it, though.
Yeah.
And so then in 2016, about 6 months to a year after Avorie was in,
yeah,
I just had foot surgery, so I was just recovering from that.
It was about when I was 9 when we started in Reading with Tang Soo Do at Fierce Tigers Martial Arts. I think we did a little bit of Taekwondo back in Chico as well.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't last very long because then we moved to Reading.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started when I was 9, and I kept going. I got my first dan in
like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago, like senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was really crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right on.
And so I think I'm from 2016 on. So like.
Yeah, you
10
joined
years.
after I joined. You were like, let's do this together. And it was awesome.
Well, I wouldn't ask my kids to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm really put my foot in my mouth with this one. But I'd always wanted to learn it, but I always felt like it was a young, because it's like gymnastics. You don't start gymnastics at 30.
Right.
Yeah. That's well, I mean, I guess it depends on what your goals are, right? Like if you're going to go compete full time, you probably want to start that at a younger age.
Yeah.
If you're just getting into it to like be a part of the family, do a family event, there's a whole myriad of different reasons of why to join.
And that's why I was okay with joining ultimately, because I wanted to learn how to defend myself and my family. I've been in situations where I didn't know how to do that. So I was like, okay, if somebody tried to hurt me or my kids, I want to actually have a chance and not just sit there and scream.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Well, so a couple of years ago, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, you and I actually sparred in a tournament at a Scott Halsey tournament.
Yeah.
And I remember I think I had just got my black belt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I don't know if it was my first tournament in the black belt category, but you were in the female black belt category, but they didn't have enough females. So they
I remember that. Yeah.
So they offered you to spar up in the black belt category with the males, right?
Yeah.
And so we went off, we sparred against each other. Nice. And I remember you nailed me with a spinning sidekick.
No way.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, you did. You got me on a spinning sidekick and right in my belly.
I remember that. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do we have any videos of that?
I don't know. I don't think I was. I think I was somewhere else in the tournament, and I was looking like, oh, that's my mom over there. She nailed it.
Right on. That is
guys.
so awesome.
Well, I feel special.
So now, that was cool.
That's rad. That's rad. Why Tang Soo Do?
That is
that was what was available.
That was what was at the gym we were going to. We were at the Y at the time, and at that point, our dojo was at the Y at the same time, so it was just super convenient. Like, hey, we've got a membership, and then we just have this extra student tuition fee for that, and it made it easier.
Yeah. It's nice when you're already there.
Yeah.
I think it was for me. Like when you're 9. You're kind of like, okay, mom wants me to go do a sport, so I'm going to choose a cool sport. I didn't like soccer because I had to run, and I don't like running a lot. And then I was like, well, I really like kicking things. I like the kicking part of soccer, so I was like, yeah, let's try karate again. That was fun for a little bit. And for a while, I'm just there because my mom wants me there. And I cried every time we sparred, and it was really tricky. But I figured at some point, I had gotten to far enough in the belts where I was like, I can see myself gaining confidence by doing this. I think that was around the end of middle school, going into high school, and I was like, I'm going to stick with this because it would be so cool to be a black belt, but also I see myself like becoming more of like a person. Like I'm gaining my identity and I'm gaining confidence as I do this. So I stuck with it.
Yeah. And my husband used to be in class, and then my youngest was in class, and I think my youngest made it to about green belt.
Okay.
And
I
made
think
it
green
to
belt.
Orange belt, maybe? Did he get to green?
I can't
He just had
remember.
to work so much, he just didn't have time to do it.
Yeah,
So it didn't work out. And then my youngest ended up wanting to do like fencing and all this other stuff. So
It just went wild with all
I
the.
was like, whatever, try it all.
Now, how old's your youngest?
18 now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Very cool. So my question for you guys, so first Dan, that means, so in Tang Soo Do, that's first Dan is like your first degree black belt. Is that what
Yeah.
that's called? Okay.
Yeah.
It's because like in our art, Wu Ying Dao, we just call it first degree black belt. So you say first Dan and I'm like,
What's that mean?
yeah, like what's that?
mean?
Like, and I've never trained Tang Soo Do. So, I mean, I guess I've sparred against it
Yeah.
with you, it's pretty cool. So, yeah.
I have a couple of questions, but the Tang Soo Do, do you know the history of that? Do you know like
Yeah.
where it came from? Where
Probably
it's,
know better than I do.
I should have studied up before I came.
Oh.
Let me see what I can remember. So it's a Korean martial art, but it originated Tang Dynasty
Okay.
from China. The way of the fist. So it came from there, but then it developed in the Philippines when they took away the weapons, and we had eskrima and stuff like that built into it as
Okay.
well. So it's gone from like China to Philippines to
Korea.
United States, in Korea. So,
Wow. Okay.
I think
Okay.
my biggest experience with Tang Soo Do was seeing it in Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Yeah. You know,
that blew
that's
my mind. I was like, they're doing that. And our instructor we are not Cobra Kai. We're not allowed to say we're Cobra Kai. Or anything like that. I was like, dude, they are totally doing our stuff.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's got to be a little like, pat yourself on the back kind of thing.
what wasn't it Johnny Lawrence? That was his style,
Yes.
right? It was Tang
Johnny.
Soo Do. Okay.
I don't know if they ever officially say it, but it's
It's
what we're
pretty
doing.
much.
Well, I remember that in the show, whenever Johnny Lawrence's sensei, the villain,
The bad guy.
the bad guy. I'm blanking on his name, but he when he was in like Vietnam, he was training. He talked about training in Tang Soo Do. And there's that
okay.
great scene in the show where he was facing as a younger version of himself in Vietnam. He was facing off against an opponent over like a snake pit, and they were
Yeah,
on
I
some
remember
bridge.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember that? Oh, that was great.
I'm gonna have to brush up on my Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
behind.
So I think he talked about doing Tang Soo Do. So that really stuck out in my mind. So when I hear Tang Soo Do, I'm like Cobra Kai.
Well, and then what's the superhero who's the lawyer and he's blind and he's got the little
Daredevil.
horns?
Daredevil.
Daredevil does Kali, which is like
A
her
screamer,
Eskrima.
yes.
So Tang Soo Do is closely knit with Eskrima.
I loved the Daredevil show. That's a real good one.
He was doing
I still
all
didn't
that.
watch it.
Yeah.
I need to watch Daredevil still.
The
I've heard
You
it's
have
really
to.
good.
The first couple of episodes really kind of cheesed me off because it's like super dark and it's hard to you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like they forgot how to use lighting or something. I don't know.
was.
Tends
But
to
it
happen.
did get better. It did get
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. The fight scenes are awesome.
Yeah.
So with Tang Soo Do, so do you guys incorporate weapons? Is that part of like your advancement in up to first Dan and then beyond first Dan?
Kind of, yeah. So we've got Tang Soo Do as the martial art, and then we've also got Kali or Eskrima as our weapon. We also have bow staff. So we'll kind of play with bow staff and we'll play with Eskrima, but we're belting in Tang Soo Do, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So we're learning it because it's part of the culture, but I don't have a belt in Eskrima, or I don't have a
Yeah.
belt in bow staff, right? But I can do a bow staff form, and I can
Do
some
some
Eskrima,
calling
yeah.
and Eskrima.
yeah.
Right on.
So- and
You
we-
too?
Yeah, I know some bow staff and some Eskrima as well. Same thing where it's kind of like branching off of Tang Soo Do, so we don't have black belts in bow staff or Eskrima, but we know a little bit of it.
Yeah, and we learn knife. We have like the wooden knives.
yeah.
We'll learn
Train-
stuff with that. And then we did
trainers.
swords for a while. Kata Anan for a while.
Yeah, we did
That
do
was
that for a little bit.
fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Then we had the long wooden sword.
Ooh, that's
Super
cool.
fun.
These
Right
big,
on.
heavy wooden swords
Yeah.
that we practice with. It was fun.
How cool. How cool. So is Tang Soo Do, is it closely related or is it even related at all to like Taekwondo?
It is, yeah.
Similar, yeah. Do you want to explain the?
I think, correct
The
me if I'm
Olympic
wrong.
stuff?
I believe there was a split before the Olympics happened where Tang Soo Do went more traditional and Taekwondo went competitive so
Sport.
they could
More
be in the
sport?
Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of relation in some of like the techniques and,
Yeah.
and katas, but there's definitely a split there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Taekwondo was more like the point system and that sort of thing, and we went more with the little details that don't get you points, but
Yeah.
they
Still.
help fight. Yeah.
So you would say probably more like less competition based, more
Yeah,
more punch you in the face based.
Yeah, like
Definitely.
the spiritual side will be more on our side, and then Taekwondo will be more of the point system
Okay.
type of thing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So my question is, so for you guys, like for us, Wing Dao, kata it's something you have to do on your way to black belt. You do it at the halfway point. So for us, between no belt, then you get to green belt, and you have to do a kata. And then from green belt, you do that one. And then when you go to test that black belt, you can either we make up our own katas.
Oh, cool.
So we don't have ones that are passed down. So we make them up, and that's part of your training. Whereas I know Tang Soo Do, other arts like Kenpo, they're passed down. Is that the same with Tang Soo Do?
Yeah, we have specific ones that we have to learn for each belt. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's part of the like requirement to test.
Most definitely.
Know the kata.
Yeah, besides the sparring, it's probably the most important aspect of our testing. Like if you don't know your katas, then you're not going to pass. Period.
Oh, I like that. I think that's cool. I like that. And even though kata isn't it's a part of our style, but there's not a lot of emphasis put on it like other arts do.
Yeah.
And I totally like kata. I totally see the point of it, and I think it's a great way to practice. And some people are like, okay, you're kata, and fun fact. So I did a Scott Halsey tournament, right? Mm-hmm. I've told you this before. I did a Scott Halsey tournament, and it was at my green belt, and I made up my own kata, and you have to have a minimum of 8 opponents that you fight.
Okay.
Well, I got to my second opponent and was going for my third, and I totally blanked on my kata. Oh, no. And totally forgot it. And so I just made up a kata like in the middle of the tournament on the fly. And somewhere around opponent 6 or 7, I remembered the rest of it. And then I got back on track.
So you had like 12 opponents. Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I got back on track, and I think there was 4 people in my category, and I think I got second place.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Fake it till you make it. That's my motto.
Yeah. You get out there and you just and just make it loud and sell it.
Sell it. That's the important thing. Sell it.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure I'm not the first person to forget their kata
no.
at a tournament.
No, I forget stuff all the time, and our kids in the dojo will be like, "I'm scared to go to the tournament. I'm nervous." I was like, "Dude, same. The pressure's on. The higher the belt you get. If I screw up, I'm in big trouble."
Yeah, I think a lot of the time we'll get kids who are like, "I'm worried I'm gonna forget it," and we're like, "If you forget it, just make it up, but pretend that you know it,
or just take a breath and pretend like it's a breathing part or something."
Yeah, like it's a part where you're like,
yeah,
getting centered.
Yeah,
man.
Finding your zen.
Yeah.
So now, where does the music play into this?
Yeah, that was my next question.
Has music been something, obviously, your whole life?
Yeah, my dad started doing drums when I was 7, so he bought like the V drums, the electric drums.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, "Dad, what's that?" And he's like, "It's drums. You want to try?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay."
And then it just went from there for you.
Went from there. I think I I messed around with it, and then up to in middle school, I was like, "I'm gonna join the jazz band," and that's when I really started to kick off with drums.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to sometimes joke like the escrimas are very similar to drumsticks, and my instructor would even be like, "Just pretend it's drumsticks when we're doing escrima." So I like the similarity there as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of patterns and things too.
Definitely.
So I could see where that translates. Where if you're a decent escrima, what do you call yourself if you do escrima? Is it
I'm not sure if there's a word.
escrimador?
Escrimador, yeah.
Is it escrimador? I don't know, because I know it's arnistador for arnis.
Arnis, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for not knowing that.
Oh, sorry. But
okay.
Anyway, I can see like where the patterns come into that, because there's
Yeah.
lots of patterns, and then that could translate to drums.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's also like so much rhythm in both music and fighting. There's
Yes.
a rhythm to fighting. There's a rhythm to katas, and there's a rhythm to eskrima. And it's really intuitive for me being a drummer and going into martial arts like that.
Right on.
Yeah, and then when she was a baby, I think you were like 6 months old, my husband started teaching me how to play bass because I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I was like, okay, well, I need to do something while she's napping and whatnot, and so that was fun. So I started learning bass when she was like learning to sit up type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was fun.
Right on.
I don't remember it, but I believe you.
Yeah.
And so that was like the start of your musical.
Yeah, and I don't know how to read music. I do everything by ear. I just needed somebody to teach me how to get started. That's the thing, because I'd always wanted to learn how to play a guitar from the time I was a little kid, but I didn't have an instructor. We couldn't afford lessons. I grew up really, really below poverty level. And so my husband already played guitar when we got married, and he taught me how to play 3 songs, like Green Day, When I Come Around, Beverly Hills by Weezer, and a White Stripes song. And then you just go from there. It just snowballs. Like, you're like, oh, now I know how to keep the beat with these 3 super easy songs. And you just build on that for each until it gets harder and harder and harder.
You learn some fundamentals.
Yeah.
The neat thing about music, like an A chord is an A chord is an A chord.
Yeah.
You know, irregardless of genre, it's the same note. It's just in a different pattern or a different rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And whether you can read it or you just go by ear, it's all the same. Like, my husband will tell me, you have to learn how to read music, which I see the value in. I'm not saying he's wrong, but he's like, you have to learn how to read music so you can communicate with other musicians. I'm like, because we've gone and jammed with other musicians in a just open jam space with like maybe 8 to 10 other musicians in there, and we all just take turns on the instruments and make up songs. And all I need to hear is the note, like, hey, this song's in E. Okay, well, I know what an E is, but
Yeah.
like, this song's in like D or F sharp or something, and okay, just play it. Okay, here we go. Now I'm with the song. I just need to hear that one note, and then we're good. And anybody can just strum one note on their song. It's not gonna on their guitar, right? It's not gonna ruin the moment. So I don't know. It's important to learn how to read music, but kids, you don't have to. You can still play without knowing how to read music.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I know the very, very, very basics of music,
Yeah.
like the reading part of music. And, I can see where the bar is.
Yeah.
I know where the treble notes are. I know where the bass notes are.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had to, when I joined jazz band, I had to learn
I was going to say, you probably had to learn how to read some music.
Yeah, I can read the rhythm of notes, but when it comes to reading music notes, I'm out. Like, give me 20 minutes to decipher one measure. Like, I can't do it very well.
Yeah. That's wild. Super fun. So, but like you started music and then martial arts came in later
Yes.
after you were born
Yep.
and all of that. Okay.
Yeah, that came way later. So music was in like 2005.
Okay.
And then martial arts was like 2016, 2015.
Okay. So there was a
Yeah.
they overlap quite a bit.
Yeah, and I've always done sports, so it's like I was able to jump into that. As far as physically, it was like, okay, we're going to start doing this one next. But I had just had a foot surgery, so it's like I can't technically stand on my foot right now. Wait.
So you had to wait and heal up.
Yeah, and it was like the 6 to 8 week mark after surgery, and I was supposed to go test for my white belt with the black. It was like right after surgery, and maybe that seems really soon. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. It was like 3 months, but it was when I was just allowed to start doing things on my foot, and I joined the dojo, I joined karate. And then I was testing for my white belt with a black stripe pretty quickly after. And I had to go run a mile and I didn't have my running shoes. So I had to go run barefoot on the treadmill for a mile. I'm like, hopefully I don't mess up my foot. This is a little soon.
Oh.
But it was okay. It ended up being all right. It was like, yeah.
How long is your guys' black belt test in Tang Soo Do?
Oh gosh, hours and hours.
Really?
It was hours and hours.
What's required of it?
So we're not allowed to talk about everything because it's really private, but mainly anything they want to ask us, anything, we have to be ready.
So you need to know the entire system.
Everything. Yeah, we have to be ready to demonstrate anything they want us to demonstrate. We have to be ready to just anything they ask us to do, we got to do it. So we have to know it all. We have to be able to do it all. And whatever they say goes.
You got to have to know all the katas.
Yeah, and
obviously.
you don't know what they're going to ask you to do. Like, you assume they're going to have you go through all the katas, all the kicks, all the blocks, all the strikes, fighting, all that stuff. But they could do it out of order. They could do a bunch of one. They could leave something totally out. You never know.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody.
I think a big thing, too, was just being able to endure whatever you're put through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in testing in general for Tang Soo Do, just a huge attribute, like a big value that you need to embody is never giving up. So every time the kids test for even their white belt, their orange belt, any belt, they have to fight all the other kids in the class.
Oh.
And they just have to get through it. Like, they don't have to win the fight.
Do you call that something specific? Because we used to call it a ringer.
We don't, but if we find out that one of the kids in the dojo has been a bully at school using their martial arts, they have to run the gauntlet, which is where they have to fight everybody in class at the same time.
Oh, nice.
And they get their little butts whooped and they learn it's not fun to be a bully. And that doesn't happen very often, but
it does happen.
Yeah, it
that
happened
you
to
guys
one
have
kid
a
for
thing.
me once in a while.
Yeah, it happened to one kid that I don't remember who, but I just remember it happened once while I was like a white or orange belt, and I was like, I'm never gonna do that.
Yeah, because in our student creed, we're trying to develop might for right, which means standing up for the little guy. It means having a good moral code.
Being a protector.
Yeah, it means we are not bullies. We defend the helpless. We don't go and try to
I like that.
use that to overpower someone to get what we want. And so we really drill that into the kids because we don't want, I'm sure it's the same with other martial arts. We don't want to go and teach a jerk how to fight and be a even more powerful jerk, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
No, we've there's been a few times where like, listen, if you're going to do this,
Yeah.
then you're going to have to find somewhere else to train because we don't want that
But
kind of attitude.
absolutely. By the time you earn a black belt in our dojo, like you can handle anything without, I mean, theoretically, you're supposed to be able to handle any sort of stressor without going off, without losing your cool, and without losing control.
You know, I talked to our teacher, Blaine, about this once. And literally right before we tested for our black belts. And he's like, really the big thing is it's like being in a pressure cooker. We're going to turn up the temp as high as we can safely go.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of you seeing if you can deal with that, without breaking, without losing your cool, without flipping out, and know that everyone there is there for you to test. It's not like this competition. It's not the focus is on you. Their job is to help you get to that thing.
Yeah. My brother's a master sergeant in the Marines, and he would tell me about like his boot camp stuff, about how the drill instructor threw a trash can over his head at one point, and just the horrible things that the drill instructors would do to them. And in our dojo, our instructors would just the mental part of it, the self-control mentally that you have to not go off on someone. And he does a great job of that. And I would just be thinking, like, why are they being so mean to us? Why are they being so mean? And then you realize it's so that you don't lose your cool when you know how to break someone's neck. Like that's a big responsibility. And I think that's similar with the military. You're giving these guys, I mean, I don't mean to like make analogies, like I've never been in the military, but you're giving these guys guns. They need to know how to handle their cool with that amount of power. And like when you teach someone how to defend themselves, they need to be able to handle themselves in a conflict where they don't just go off the first argument they have because they know how to shut this person up.
Yeah.
Like you got to be able to be chill.
Well, it's the old Spider-Man quote: "With great power comes great responsibility."
Yeah, right?
So
And that
incredibly true.
comes in handy in a band, let me tell you.
You're right. Sometimes you got to keep your cool in a band so that everyone stays on good terms.
Yeah, it's good. And it's nice during a show if you have people like drunk at a bar fighting and you're like, okay, stay back from the stage.
I will kick you in your head. Yeah.
Well, and you get a bunch of artists, right? Like me coming from a filmmaking perspective, you get a bunch of artists together, and man, I mean, you sometimes those disagreements, and then you get hot-headedness, on top of that, and ego, and and all that, and you can get heated at times.
Oh yeah.
So that brings up something that I've been kind of itching to ask here. So you're both in bands with your family members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you train with your family members, and then you live with your family members.
Yeah.
Like, does the boundaries cross sometimes where you're like,
No. So
I feel like it's pretty chill.
we have a very peaceful family. We have a really great family. We don't fight. We've never had to yell. I've yelled at my husband. Sorry. That's me. That's my bad. My
appreciate that
bad.
honesty.
But I guess so. I'll come in. I'll be carrying groceries in, and I'll come in the kitchen door with my arms loaded up with groceries, and my husband will be like, "Surprise attack! Defend yourself!" And he'll go to like kick me in the stomach, joking like he's not abusive. But I'm like, dude, come on here. Like, you really want me to drop the groceries and fight you right now? Like, he's always jumping out from behind a corner and be like, defend yourself. And then he'll do something. And I'm like,
that's when I jump on his back and give him the chokehold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Thanksgiving when you're...
Spider monkey.
I don't remember why. We were at Thanksgiving at his mom's house, and they're all very sweet, like churchy people. And we were demonstrating, I think because my niece does jujitsu.
Yeah,
And
she
I
does
was-
do jujitsu.
I was like, oh, let's see if our chokehold's like your chokehold. And so I put my husband in a chokehold, but he wouldn't tap out. And I was like, tap out. And his mom's like, stop, you're hurting him. I'm like, he's fine. Tap out. But he wouldn't.
He's fine.
Anyways.
That is so awesome. That is so rad. So my nephew did jujitsu for a little bit at like 9 years old, right? And I was playing around with him, wrestling. I'm like, hey, show me like a rear naked choke or something.
Yeah.
The way he locked that in so quickly, and my vision just goes,
Yeah.
it was scary.
I'm jealous. If I was younger, so we do jujitsu on Tuesdays. We have Extreme Team that we do jujitsu through as kind of like a side part to round it all out. I don't take part in that class anymore because I have a bad shoulder. I have 2 bad knees. Like, I have to be really careful just to be able to keep teaching still, but I'm super jealous because I was doing that class for a while, and it's so much fun learning how to put people in chokeholds and arm bars and all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's really practical for like I said, if we're on stage and there's a bar fight, I'm thinking more of holds I'm going to do.
Yeah.
To keep them in place until the cops show up or something. Not so much, oh, I'm going to kick him in the face and then, which that can help, but dude, a big drunk dude's not going to feel pain. Like
yeah.
got superpowers. So I would love to learn jiu-jitsu. I just got to be careful.
Yeah, that reminds me of something I did want to bring up was something our instructor would always say is that it doesn't matter what size you are and how big your opponent is compared to you. There's always a way to like take them down. Mm-hmm. And it's just a different way of approaching it. So like me and my mom would go against dudes who are like twice our size, just super, super big guys. Yeah. And we're like, we need to figure out how we're going to tackle it. So sometimes it's about speed. Sometimes it's about pressure points. And some like stuff like jiu-jitsu, just getting like that perfect point where you can hold a guy just in place. Mm-hmm. You just need to know how to do it accurately and fast instead of, and if you don't have that power,
Yeah.
So I think jiu-jitsu is super cool for that as well.
Now, that being said, when I was still doing the jiu-jitsu class on Tuesdays, I was fighting this dude that was twice my size, or rolling with this dude twice my size, and he basically, I don't know what it's called, but he held me like a basket and just started squeezing. I was like,
Anaconda
like a bear hug? Like
yeah, I was just like a little egg getting squeezed to death, and I was like, well, this is fun.
Sometimes size does matter a little bit.
Just a little, but I'm a white belt in jiu-jitsu, so I, brand new, but it's so much fun.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. I've always like you can go pretty much 100%.
Yeah.
And not really worry about too much injury, whereas like sparring, you can go 100%, but your partner might not like it, or you may not like it, depending on the outcome. Yeah. But,
And there's still a lot of rules in sparring, even when, so obviously for tournaments, there's point sparring, but even when we do live sparring, the total just self-defense for testing and whatnot, a lot of the things I'm not allowed to elbow somebody during testing, right? That's not fair. My elbow's not we have the pads on our hands and our feet and our head, and we're allowed to punch and kick everybody. But in a real fight, I'm going to be elbowing the crap out of these people's faces, right? Because that's stronger than my little wrists. Mm-hmm. And so there's certain things we're not really allowed to practice during actual testing,
sparring.
but it would be really, just kneeing someone in the groin would be so effective.
Yeah, we do learn like knee and elbow techniques. We just don't use it in sparring.
Because we don't have pads. It's not fair to break someone's nose.
I'm sure you guys do like eye stabs, all that stuff too. Throat.
Throat. Like in Roadhouse.
Yeah. So you can see it in the podcast where we're visually acting these out.
Yeah.
Right on. And now you said something about teaching. So you're teaching classes?
Yeah. So we both were teaching at the Y. So when the dojo, we had two for a while. It was at the Y, and then it was at the City of Reading. And Avery and I were teaching at the Y, so our instructor could focus on the City of Reading ones because they were on the same nights about the same time. Okay. And that was super fun. And we were both black belts by then.
Yeah, I think we were teaching at the Y when we tested for a black belt.
Yeah, because it got delayed because of COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I currently live in Chico, so I unfortunately can't help teach a lot of the time for Tang Soo Do and Reading. But I had been helping teach like since I was a green belt, I think, is when I started, like the instructor would say, okay, go take care of these white belts or lead this part of class.
Under the supervision of an
instructor. Yeah. And then when we started teaching at the YMCA was when we were like, okay, this is your guys' class under me. Go teach.
Go do the thing.
Yeah, go do the thing.
Right on.
It was really cool.
Yeah, and then right now I help teach at the City Reading class with our head instructor, Tommy Cervena.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right on. And how long's he done it for? A long time?
Probably like 22 years or something. He's been, longer than that, because he took a break during his green belt for like 7 years. So he's been doing it ever since his kids were little. So who knows? Could be 30 years? I don't know.
Right
That's
on.
a good question.
How cool.
Do you guys so in Tang Soo Do, so like for our art and Wu Ying Dao, in order to advance, so Dustin and I are at 1st degree black belt. Once we want to go test for our 4th degree black belt, right? So we got to go through 2nd and 3rd to go to 4th. But before that, we have to go attain a black belt in another art.
Ooh,
So we have to go get a black belt in another art, then come back and test for our 4th degree. On top of what we have to do within our art to get to the 4th degree.
Oh,
I love that. That's so cool.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. So our art essentially says, well, go train over there with those people, and then come back and we'll test you and see if you're good enough.
I love that. We're not allowed to do that. We are forbidden to go to other dojos and train. Yeah, we're not allowed. So we've had issues with that. So
Is that a school policy or an art policy?
that is a good question. I recently found out about it this year. But I have always wanted to go train at other dojos and just see, like, you guys will have better equipment or something. I'm like, yeah, and I just want to, Chuck Norris,
Yeah, just
try
doing
them all.
everything.
Just go try them all.
Well, and I look at it as like food, right? If you ate your favorite food every single day of the week, how long would it take you to go like, I'm tired of this?
I know.
Even if it's your favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
You can only eat so much of it before you were like, okay, I got to do something different.
Yeah.
A tuna fish sandwich sounds better.
Right?
Anything other than this right now,
Yeah.
And I want to try everything. I want to do a little of this, a little of that,
too.
So are you guys allowed to do like then jujitsu, or is that so different from your art that it's like?
That's where it gets so we have under Extreme Team, we do jujitsu on Tuesdays. So it's
part of the program.
Yeah, the Grandmaster for Extreme Team is a Tang Soo Do black belt under our Grandmaster. So they're all kind of in the same family.
Gotcha.
As is the Eskrima. Like they're all within the same family. So we're all under the umbrella of our Grandmaster, who's Gordon Cordencillo, Mr. C, we call him.
Mr. C. And you said he's in Salinas?
He's in Salinas, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So we go down there for big tests, and then we go down there for seminars and stuff to make sure we're all on the same page, and it's fun.
It's really wonderful, honestly, to see, because it's so it's not very often you get to go and see your Grandmaster, I believe the Grandmaster C he founded Fierce Tigers in California. And it's been there as long as he's been doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's such a great experience to go and see your Grandmaster in person. You brought this here, and that's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that is cool.
You think about like traditional martial arts like Shotokan and you go back, and some of those things are hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Those guys are long dead. So
Yeah.
the fact that you have like somebody that's related to the system that's up there, that's a unique thing, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And it goes back farther.
It goes back further, yes.
But you know what I mean?
like,
Like he did the branch of Fierce Tigers.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's not. So Mr. C is the he didn't found Tang Soo Do.
No.
Gotcha.
no, but he's
Okay.
like an ambassador.
Gotcha,
Or
yeah.
ambassador,
But he
excuse
founded
me.
Fierce Tigers, yeah.
My bad, yeah.
When was Fierce Tigers founded?
Oof, I'm gonna get so much trouble today.
You're getting demoted to brown belt. Just kidding.
It was founded sometime in the last, I would guess, 50 years, because he's, at least 50 years old.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah. I could tell you, we came around in 1945 when the war was going on, is when they were getting Tang Soo Do put together and all that stuff. That was fun. Yeah,
No worries.
No worries.
So he's a Marine, and he's taught self-defense to the Marines before. They've had him come in and teach the soldiers before. So it's been a while. Yeah, it's been like.
So you said that occasionally you have to go down to test.
Yeah.
Was that part of your black belt test, or did you take your black belt test here?
We took our black belt test down there. Like with our Grandmaster and a bunch of our masters. And stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, in their dojo, it was like 95 degrees inside. It was awesome.
So it was like a sauna.
So
It was great.
that to me is like more traditional.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna go somewhere and you're gonna go test in front of people you may or may not know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That. Sorry, there's a little static in my left ear there. Sorry.
Yep, I had that happen one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that to me is like, I guess it would mean more. Like, not mean more, but I think that's like it lends some gravitas to it. Like, we're not only are we like testing for a black belt, but now we've got to go travel to this other place that we're not familiar with. maybe possibly being in front of people, testing with people that I've never even met before.
Yeah.
I remember like when we tested, actually, no, when Phil tested, there was like all these people walking in. I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And he goes and sits down next to the instructor. And then this other, there was like 3 or 4 people that I'm like, I've never seen this guy. And I've been here for almost 10 years. Like, what the heck's going on?
A couple different black belts
Yeah.
in our that don't train here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or regularly.
Because at your own dojo, you know everybody, you know, and you know all the other fighters, and it's like, okay, I know I need to save some in the tank for that guy.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one's not
This
gonna be
one
a
I don't have to
problem.
worry about.
I gotta make sure not to make that one cry because I like them, and this one's probably gonna make me, you know, hurt tomorrow morning.
I'm not going to, I better make sure I don't cry in front of this guy.
Yeah, don't be the person crying today.
Yeah. But then to like, that would make me nervous is what
Oh,
I'm trying
yeah.
to get at. Like, okay, I'm going to go travel for.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking for sure because you know they're going to be really hard on you because they're representing like how strict they're going to be as well, because we know how strict our dojo is. Well, they're going to show us that they're even more strict type of, you know, it's kind of like this atmosphere of like, you're mine now type of thing, and we love them all to death, but when it's, you know, when it's seminar time or it's testing time, like it's you
serious.
guys know
It's serious
very
business.
it's definitely serious.
Yeah.
It's fun to see the little kids like
Yeah.
learn that because they're like all happy-go-lucky in class and training, and then like you get to testing time and they're like, you know, they got that face on that
Deer in the
1,000-mile
headlights, yeah.
stare, you know.
I love when you have the little ones that have a hard time paying attention in class, and you keep telling them, like, you need to pay attention when I'm teaching you because you're going to be fighting and you're not going to know how to defend yourself. You're going to get hurt if you don't listen. And they'll keep goofing off, and then it comes to their testing time. They get punched in the face. They're like, hey, punch me in the face. Like, block it. I taught you how to block it. Oh, you weren't listening.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you listen, right? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going into the black belt testing was the most scared and stressed I've ever been.
for
like
sure.
it's this there's a huge aura, not only like you said of going somewhere that you're not familiar with, but meeting people who you've rarely seen or have never seen before and meeting them. And going into something that is so, it's like sacred, it's reverent in our in our
Like, they'll draw
martial
the
art.
blinds. It's
I'm
very
glad you
private.
said that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because I think that is, it should be. It should be.
Yeah.
And that's, like, we're stoked to talk about it, but it's like there's certain things we won't talk about just because we know that it's reverence for it.
Well, it's a matter of respect.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's also kind of like you got to earn your stripes.
Oh, yeah.
Like
For sure.
we blood, sweat, and tears over this, and like I'm not just gonna give that back out to you for free.
Yeah.
Like you gotta show your worth. You know, worth the mustard.
Yeah,
there.
I also think you gotta be at least a little scared, if not
Oh,
a
gosh.
lot or the most scared, to prove that like I am choosing to go into something where I am the most scared I've ever been, and I'm choosing to go through it anyway.
I'm going to step into the fire.
That's bravery, and that's where you're like, okay, now we can actually test you.
Yeah, because not to be dramatic, but like we go in there knowing like this could go really bad. Like we could actually die if
I
we
was
don't
like, I'm gonna
defend
break all
these
my
guys don't
legs.
mess around, you know. And you know, I've got exercise-induced asthma. I get heart palpitations. I've got stuff. Like I'm not some bulletproof superhero, right? Like I'm a mom. I'm a 43, I think, year old lady. You know, it's like so we go in there just like we're just gonna go till we pass out. Like we're just gonna go until we can't go any longer. And that's, I think, the only way you can pass a
Yeah.
black belt test is going knowing that you're just gonna go till you're unconscious.
Just
If
get yourself in
if
that
that's what's
mindset, yeah.
required, yeah.
Yeah.
And then luckily they don't want you to die, so I think they do watch out for that. But you know, it doesn't feel like it when you start the day.
You either get your black belt or you die.
Right? Well, because like if you're not going to give up, it's like
Yeah.
I'm not going to quit, so therefore we're gonna do everything they tell us. But yeah,
I think I did have an instructor tell me once, I'd rather see you like go until you throw up or pass out versus give up and leave.
that's what Mr. C said. I was testing for green or red.
Yeah.
Red. I was testing for one of the red ones down there, and I have exercise-induced asthma. So when I hit my VO2 max,
Yeah.
it's really, really bad. And it happens mostly during sparring, but it can happen during katas anytime you hit your VO2 max and everything closes up. And so, but you know, you just keep going until I've only blacked out once and it was in track in high school. So I'm pretty good at managing it, but we're testing with the other kids and I'm doing my little squeaky thing. It's embarrassing, but whatever. I'm used to it. I've been doing it, you know, my whole life does that. And And I thought he was going to be upset because obviously I'm, kind of weak over here trying to breathe. And he points to the other guy. He's like, you need to have more, what do you say to Aiden? Like, you need to act like you care more or something. Because Aiden is oh my gosh, this kid doesn't get tired. He's a little skateboarder. He does flips and all this stuff. This kid's Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah. And he's
got the endurance of just like.
He's got that stamina. He can just go.
He'll jump around you like a little grasshopper, and you're just like, okay, I'm tired. But yeah, he points to me. He's like, I don't care if she passes out on the floor. At least she's not giving up. At least she acts like I know she wants to be here. And I was like, okay,
trying to catch your breath.
Okay.
That's cool though that there's a standard to be kept.
How many at your guys' black belt test? How many other black belts are present? If you have to travel somewhere, I mean, are there like 5, 10, 20?
I mean,
we had a row on the wall.
Yeah. There was.
I mean, physically present. Like, how many black belts physically present?
I want to say at least 10. Well, maybe 10. There was a good chunk of people testing us who were black belts above us.
And then we had our group.
And then we had our group, and some of them were first on testing for their second. So
there was probably 20 total, including our group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot of black belts in one group.
Wow.
It was a lot of pressure because, you're just trying to stand up straight, because all your muscles are tired.
Yeah.
Like puddles of sweat all over the place because we didn't have any air conditioning. And, and everybody's looking to see what you're made of. All these people you look up to, and just trying to look cool while you're dying over there.
Yeah.
I that's funny because we tested with five people, and I believe probably somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the largest group that we have done here at this school for black belts. And I remember like, okay, just stay cool, stay calm, like don't freak out. And I actually wrote on my arm, stay cool and how bad in like marker. And I'd sweat it off.
Yeah.
And like it was gone.
Oh yeah, it was so gross. So
yeah, it was gross.
So two things. Half the group was testing for their second dan. So we only had
I think three of us
black belts
were
for
testing
first
for
dan,
the first
and the rest were for the second dan. And then we're standing there in our ready stance, and you're not allowed to move, you're not allowed to flinch, you just listen. And I'm hard of hearing, and one of the masters was talking really low like this while he was giving us, and I'm like, I read lips, so I'll read lips across the tournament room, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that guy's got a nosebleed, he needs a tampon type of thing, like
yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny, but we're not allowed to make eye contact. It's a respect thing. Like you just are eyes straight ahead. You're not allowed to make eye contact during these testings, and so I'm like trying to hear what he's saying, and I can't read his lips because I'm not allowed to look at his face, and I've got sweat just going down my face, and it's like going in my mouth, and it's just like.
Yeah, but you're just trying to like
gross everywhere.
Yeah.
Got through it though.
That sounds like a good time.
You just try to listen, like you say yes sir, I'll say it too, because I have no idea what they're saying. But it was just the one. Yeah. So
how rad.
Yeah, it sucks.
How long? For Tang Soo Do, from do you guys start at no belt or do you start at a white belt?
We started at a white belt. Yeah.
So from white belt, from somebody walking in day one to black belt, what's like first dan, I should say. What's like an average length of time? 3 years, 5 years, 7?
At least 6, I would think.
6?
I think for me it was 7 or 8.
And that's consistent training?
Yeah, consistent training. I think I failed at least 1 or 2 tests and had to retake them, so that was another at least 6 months to a year or 2.
I was like 6 or 7 years when I tested.
Yeah. So I'd say roughly between 5 and 10 years is a good
I'd say 6 or 7, yeah. Up there.
Interesting. Oh, the reason why I ask is because, we have to consider where we're going to go get a black belt to get 4th degree. So how much?
Tyler's his vision is 10 years into the future. Like, okay, I know what I want to do here. I know what I want to do here. I'm going to make this movie. I'm going to do this thing. I'm just okay, what are we doing tomorrow?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Cool. Yeah,
that's
I would definitely choose jiu-jitsu as my second black belt if I had
time and means.
Yeah. If I can, I've been rehabbing my shoulders. Maybe I can get back into it. I don't know.
I would really love to go further into eskrima or bow staff personally. Yeah. If there's a belt range that I can, or a ranking system I could go through there, that would be really sick to learn more of.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eskrima
is
sticks
sick.
are nice because they fit into smaller space. I have them in my truck. I have a bow staff in my truck, but that's just because of teaching. I just keep it there so I don't forget it. But I've got Eskrima sticks, and they're nice because you can like get them out.
Yeah.
Whereas a bow staff in a
I
truck.
got a trunk. I got a trunk full of
Yeah.
Eskrima sticks. Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome. And it's always fun. Like if you got nothing to do, I got something in the car. We can whack each other with some sticks for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to get coworkers to come down at lunch.
Yeah.
And whack some sticks together. But
Boy,
so
come
far,
whack
no,
sticks with me.
no takers yet. No takers yet, but it's going to happen. I might just go out into the parking lot and start swinging sticks around.
Yeah. It's a
Let's see
good
if I get
pass
some
fail.
of it.
Like if you accidentally hit someone's hand or their face or something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What
And get whacked.
what have you guys what's like a life lesson or something that how has martial arts really enriched your life, you know, like, and especially doing multiple kind of like arts within your art type thing and being a musician. I mean, you kind of talked about rhythm and everything, and like just like what's something that's enriched your lives with doing this?
I think for me, a huge thing that I learned from martial arts is the value of endurance. No matter what you're doing in life, you need to be able to get through the hard thing, and being able to face it even though you're so scared of it, just like the black belt. Like I'm so scared of going to college. I don't know if I'm gonna get a job. I'm have all these doubts and I have all this fear. Going through something like martial arts gave me confidence to know I can face those hard things and I can get through it. And as long as I just continue to keep getting back up every time I'm beaten down, I'm gonna get through it and I'm gonna get to the goal where I want to be.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is
awesome.
tremendous. It's
Yeah.
I think
nice
it's
to
so
hear a
cool.
young person say that.
It's so important to me, and it really is foundationally from taking martial arts.
It's so true. Just keep getting back up, because there's been so many injuries through the process of white belt to black belt. I was supposed to be an ultra marathoner, quotes in the air, at my age. That was the plan, and like I'll never run a marathon again. My knees are messed up, right? I wouldn't trade it for the world though, because of the self-confidence that it builds. You just keep getting back up and you just never give up, and you're going to reach your goal. So you know that anything you want to do in life, as long as you never give up, you'll get there eventually. If we live long enough, we'll reach all the goals we set for ourselves. It's just a matter of how much time do we have.
Well, yeah, and it also matters like how much effort are you putting in?
Exactly.
Like you got to put the time in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, you get out of it what you put into it. And we tell our kids in class, it's like, if you go home and practice, we can tell. And if you don't, we can tell. Like if I don't our instructor, so I've been rehabbing a bunch of stuff, and I took some time off to rehab it, and I came back to class. He's like, "Okay, demonstrate boss side on." I was like, "Gosh darn it!" I'd only taken a little time off, and it was like this messy, sloppy. I was so embarrassed. I was like, "Dude." So then I went home and I practiced, or once my injury was healed enough, and now I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready." And then of course he doesn't ask me to do it. I'm like, "Gosh darn it!" That's how it goes. So you just got to always be prepared. The main thing is, I've noticed that from white belt to black belt, I am a totally different person than I was before. In a lot of ways, the confidence thing, the being able to hold your cool a lot better in situations. Like I think we can all probably pop off pretty bad if we get heated, but we know how to control it a lot better now.
Well, yeah, I look at it like not an on-off switch necessarily, but a dimmer switch.
Yeah.
And like if something is gonna bother me, then I know I need to dim this emotional feeling. Right?
Yeah.
And then I also know that if it's called for, I can turn that thing back up.
Exactly.
But like I want to be in control of who's turning that dial.
It's super important. Like one of my favorite parts is my husband, he works, of course I'm like announcing this on the radio, but my husband works out of town a lot. So I'm by myself at the house all the time. And before martial arts, if I hear a noise in the middle of the night, I'm like, "Oh no, what is it? I'm so scared," right? And now it's like I get up and like, "What is it?" And I'm like going down the hall with my fist up, and like, "All right, what weapons are nearby? I'm ready to go. I'm face whatever I think is coming to the house." And it's such a fun feeling to just not be afraid to go head to head with an opponent. I had a tweaker try to get in my truck at the gas station the other day, a while ago. And I was almost laughing the whole time because I wasn't scared of him. I was just, I locked my door. I'm like, okay, which thing am I going to bust out?
Yeah,
I've got
what am I
knife,
going
I've
to
got
whack you in the
pepper spray,
forehead with?
I've got tons of weapons in my truck, and I'm just like, you make my day, man. You want to keep pursuing this? Like, I got
This is what I've been training for.
I'm like, yeah, like we don't do this training for nothing here. We have so now, when I instruct, a lot of the kids will be like, how come you don't fight as much? I'm like, because I'm pretty busted up, you guys. I've had like knee surgery and all this stuff, and I'm saving it for a real fight. But in a real fight, yeah, I'll wreck my shoulder, defending my kids, or I'll wreck my knee. Like, that's fine. But for class, I want to be able to keep demonstrating for you guys. So I gotta be careful.
So I wanted to get hit on the teaching a little bit. What's your favorite thing to teach? And like, is there a favorite thing to teach? What do you like about teaching? So 2 questions.
Yeah. So my favorite thing about teaching is watching these little guys get confidence. These little kids, we'll have kids come in who are getting bullied at school, and maybe that's why they're there. They cry every time they spar, and we teach them, like, it's okay to cry. If I get punched in the face, my face might just start crying just because we don't have control all the time over that. It's kind of a natural physical reaction. Your eyes start watering, get punched in the face. I was like, but what I care about is that you keep going. We care about your heart. And we'll have these little kids that are just crying every time they spar. They're getting bullied at school. And then over the course of maybe a year, now they're getting in there and they're fighting and they're not crying anymore. You just see them build their confidence up.
So cool.
Yeah. And that's the best thing for me, because we have a lot of kids that get bullied that come to class, and you just see them go through the stages of being completely helpless to, that kid can handle themselves in a fight against someone their same size, for sure.
Yeah. I think when I was teaching, I really love seeing students that came from a very similar background to me. I was a very nervous child, and I would cry at everything, little crybaby child. And I see, similar to you, where there's a lot of kids who are so scared and they get so riled up at the slightest, like, something's gone wrong, and there's so little confidence. And it's so awesome to see them go through that same confidence building as I did, especially, and I guess I have bias towards our students who are girls, because I'm like, that's awesome. That's like me. But any of our students, it's just so cool to see that confidence go up, and to see them like realize they can really go get them.
Yeah, I really enjoy the spiritual side of it too, which because I'm a yoga instructor also. I'm a personal trainer, yoga instructor by trade, and I enjoy the spiritual side of it, where you teach the kids, like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? And if you see someone getting beat up, what are you gonna do? How do you know if it's time to intervene or not? Or how are you gonna stand up to bullies? And just teaching them, like, we really go over the student code and the codes and the creed and all that. And what does this really mean to you to be a martial artist? Like, your moral code, your work ethic,
who you are as a person.
Yeah, who you are as a person really matters, because we've got people who know how to fight, and they're still working on the emotional part, which I am too. We all are, but I really love it when, for example, we have another instructor in our dojo, Mr. Bradley. He's Tommy's son, and he's an amazing fighter. I fought him a lot. He's kicked my butt a lot. Bradley is a gentleman. Like, if he kicks me in the head, he's not going to break my neck, but he's going to make me feel it, right? I've fought guys twice my size who will put me in the hospital if I'm not careful. Like, they don't care. That's great. That's real life. I totally get that. I'm fine with it. But I think it's so sweet when you meet someone who is going to fight and they're going to show control when it's appropriate. Because I've been kicked in the kidneys before I couldn't get out of bed the next day. And that's fine, because that's real life, right? People who
happens. Yeah.
People who pick on you in real life, they tend to be bigger than you because they think they can win the fight, and I'm going to pick on this little guy. So I do appreciate getting my butt handed to me by bigger opponents. But yeah, I really like when they do have a moral code, and there's a time for it and there's a time not for it. When you're testing, you're going to get your butt kicked because you're testing. But if you're just doing drills in class and some dude wants to show off that he can hit a lady across the room, it's like, come on, man. All right, well then I hope you're wearing your cup, because I guess we're playing dirty now.
Now it's gonna go.
Yeah. Like, all right.
Something I was gonna bring up earlier that you reminded me of was, it really does matter. Like, the intention of the student really matters. Like, what is the student's goal? I think halfway through my martial art journey, I had to figure out, okay, am I going to martial arts because my mom wants me to go to martial arts, or do I really want a black belt for my own reasons? And I think that's another huge part of seeing kids also go through it, because the ones that go really want, like the ones that make it to black belt, like wanted black belt, and they said, I want to get a black belt, and this is my intention, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna put in the effort to do it.
Yeah.
And that also applies to life for me. Like, I decide what I want, like that's what I want to do. Okay, I'm gonna choose to do it right now, and I'm gonna keep going for it.
Yeah. And my hope, like with these little kids especially, I grew up in a really violent home, like a domestically violent home, and I was terrified of my stepdad. And I know that there's kids all over the place that are having that same thing happen to them now. And if you could get the confidence of a black belt into those little kids' hearts, you know that they're going to make it through it. You know, they're going to get through that. They're getting on their own. They're going to be okay. And I've seen kids in our dojo who might be getting abused at home, and they have the confidence to stand up for themselves, and they have the confidence to like talk to an adult about it. And we take care of it. And they don't just have to grow up like that. Like, it gets handled because they're not scared. And that's what I really want to do for little kids too, is like give them the confidence to know like they got this, hard things happen, they know how to defend themselves, they don't have to be scared all the time. And they know what steps to take to protect themselves and their families. Like, even as little guys.
Like knowing that there are other options. Like, I think you mentioned earlier, like when, for example, when it's late at night and you hear a bump in the night, knowing that you like, okay, I have options here to address this. It's so powerful to know there's a way to address this.
Yes. Like that dial again, like I was talking about earlier, like you're clear thinking. You've already tested, you've already like turned up your adrenaline over and over and over again. And now it's just like, oh, instead of freaking out, I'm going to go take care of whatever this is. I'm going to figure out, is this a real problem? Is somebody breaking into the house, or did a lamp fall? Or did a, water bottle get knocked over by the cat or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, and we're always still working. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm this great black belt now with all the control. Like, heck no, man. I test it all the time. Like, I'm not perfect, and I'm still learning a lot. Like, I'm only first on. I want to go farther. I want to test up. And I definitely have a lot of, I still have self-control stuff that I'm working on. I still have like everything. I'm working on everything. Like, it's always a work in progress. And that's what we teach our kids too, is like, you never get to perfection. Like, we're always going to have constructive criticisms for you. I have to work. Did you see my boss side on the other day? Like, I have stuff I'm working on. Like, give me a break.
How many dons are there in Tang Soo Do?
9. So the 10th one is unattainable because there's no such thing as perfection. So we have our grandmaster is 9th degree. Yeah.
Cool.
I like that.
I do cool too. Idea. Yeah, it's unattainable.
Really cool.
I really like that idea too. The idea that there's always room for growth. Yeah. Even when you're at the 9th dawn, the highest you can go, you can't get the 10th because there's always room to grow and to learn.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we're at about an hour here.
Okay.
We're at about an hour, excuse me. I wanted to give you both the chance to talk about your school and your bands and if you have a website, merch, all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. Spiel your spiel.
Okay, so dojo first. So we're teaching through the City of Reading martial arts program. So if you go to the City of Reading website and you just sign up for the martial arts, we're Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 to 8 right now. It might say 6:30 to 8:30 because they change it seasonally. But we meet from 6 to 8 right now. And if you want to sign up and learn Tang Soo Do, come get instructed by me on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Then...
My mom's a great teacher.
Aww.
It would be awesome.
Aww.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we have adults and kids. So
cool.
Any age, any ability.
You do the rest of your stuff first, and then I'll do me.
Oh, okay. My band's Furlough Fridays, furloughfridays.com.
You do have a website.
Yeah,
right on.
We have a website, furloughfridays.com. Has all of our info. We have a show tonight at the Dip.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, come see us tonight.
Unless
this airs after tonight. But
it will. It'll be on next week, but you missed an excellent show.
Yeah. Go to the website. There's more shows. We got a whole thing coming up.
Right on.
Cool. Yeah, I'm currently going to Chico State, so I'm posting a lot of... I'm going for art and animation. I'm learning 3D animation for characters and 2D animation for also characters, but anything really. And I'm going to be posting some of my stuff on my Instagram, which is bravo_mydude. And I also have a band. It's Adam's Audacity. There's also an Instagram for Adam's Audacity and also YouTube for Adam's Audacity. I believe it's just the name, Adam's Audacity. And yeah, we have a Black Flag show coming up soon.
In April.
In April, yeah, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I should say you can hire her. So I have a soap shop,
right.
yatesminifarm.com, where I sell soaps and bath and body products that I hand make. And I hired her to design my stickers and my logos. So you can hire her to design your stickers and logos.
Please do. I also I love having a job.
College student.
I've also done commissions for people who really love Pokemon. So I've drawn Pokemon stuff and any video game stuff. I don't know. I'll do it.
Yeah.
You're not above the almighty
I'm not
dollar.
above it. I'll do a commission.
Right on. Right on. Well, thank you very much. This was awesome.
Thank you.
If you
Thank you.
ever want to do this again, please feel free to let us know. If you want to come on and just say, hey, I got a show, or, I'm doing something. You got time. Friends, I think that's about it. We're going to call it a day here. We have our stuff to sell you. Podcast. All can be found, our social media, can all be found, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, all can be found at The Formless Pod. We have a website called, you guessed it, theformlesspod.com, where you can find pictures of us doing stuff, where you could buy shirts, hats, mugs, book bags, pillows, tapestries, and anything else we could slap our logo on. We have an email address. You can reach out to us at theformlesspod@gmail.com. Thank you,